resistance, being the first, second, and third level of resistance. We've closed at 88.39. We've had a very weak close on the Australia to US dollar again. We have this support down here in this 87.20 area. Extremely likely, I would give it probably an 80% probability that that's where it's heading before we get a bounce. Now, we still do have room to extend past the 87.14 area, but with the predicted RSI looking at where it's at right now in heavily oversold territory, we may get a bounce back up towards this 90.02, at which time we can use that area to reset our short positions. Now, the risk, pointing it out, risk to reward is very good here. If we're getting into shorts in this 90 cent area, even in the 89.90 area, stops just above the 90.57. That's a very good risk to reward if our target if we continue to believe that we're going to target that 87.14 area. But at any rate, to begin the week, the Australian dollar is very likely to come back under pressure again. So as the US dollar continues to strengthen, so we'll see. If we're going to get a bit of a relief rally, a bit of corrective move on the US dollar, that'll breathe some life back into Australia US. But right now, very clearly, we're in a substantial downtrend. Now, going into the US Swiss franc, it's moved somewhat slower than what Euro US has, but it's certainly made up for that late in the day on Friday, closing at the 106.07 mark. That's the highest we've been in a very long time. And point of interest here, we've got about 6 or 8 candlesticks sitting at this 105 area where the market just simply could not get above this area. The last time it attempted it in the latter part of December, it failed again after the 5th candle tried to break through. The market then crashed all the way down to the 101.50. However, that's where we picked up the support on the US dollar index, and again, US Swiss franc recovered to where it is now. So right now, 105, 105.30 area appears to be a very good buying opportunity if we can get a pullback to that area on Sunday or Monday. Now, again, my concern is always that, we're going to have a corrective move on the US dollar index, but if that happens, we're watching these key levels in this 105 area, 105.20, to make sure they hold. If the 105 area holds, then we're likely heading towards the 108, 110 area. Very, very good possibility of that. And then the new base for our current range will be 105.08. So any move higher. Right now we're looking for a top on the US Swiss franc. We know where our bottom is. It's 105.08. Now we're going to see if we can get a top in place. I'm suspecting it'll probably be in the 107, somewhere between 107 and 109, and then we'll start getting that corrective move back down towards the 105, 105.80 area. So right now, longs clearly are heavily favored on the US Swiss franc. Now, our last pair here, we're going to be looking at the British pound US dollar. We're starting to get a fresh sell signal on this. It's been trading in a very, very tight channel. We can see these candlesticks that are basically between 161 and 163. This long candlestick here, very important to point this out, has extended all the way down into the 159.90 area. Subsequently, our 3-day and our 8-day predicted moving average have crossed over the 18-day predicted moving average, suggesting that the British pound US dollar is getting ready for a move back down to at least the 159, 158.50 area. But again, once we come down here, this is why we always want to look at price patterns, because we can see we have a number of candlesticks sitting down here just off this 159 area. So we have some very, even though we have a fresh crossover from Vantage Point, we have very significant support sitting at that 158.90, 158 area. It's very, very strong support. So, but in the short term for now, there's about a 90% probability, I would say at this point, that we're going to go to at least 159. So again, my name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com, and this is the Forex Market Outlook for the week of February the 1st, 2010.